Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Virtual Education Abroad Fair. We really appreciate it, and it's really good to see you all. My name is Kimberly Larson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Global Education, and I'm going to be hosting this event today and monitoring it together with Cassandra. First of all, I want to thank Cassandra from the Center for Modern Languages at the University of Granada for joining us today. We're super excited to have her here. She might seem frozen, but you're going to be able to hear her just fine and see her presentation. I hope you enjoy hearing from Cassandra and the University of Granada. I hope you're able to have all your questions answered. Just a couple of reminders, a couple of things before we get started. All participants except for presenters are muted currently. If you have any questions, please use the question feature in your GoToWebinar control panel to type in the questions and share your questions. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask the person, I will ask Cassandra the questions you submitted, and we'll go through them to make sure they all get answered. So I'll go ahead and monitor those questions and bring them up and ask her at the end of the presentation. And two final reminders: when you're ready, go ahead and make an appointment with an Education Abroad advisor to discuss your future study abroad plans. That's the exciting part. And we suggest you starting to plan earlier rather than later. And we have a Calendly link in the GoToWebinar chat box, and that's for Rachel, who's our study abroad advisor and GA currently. And if you're interested in studying abroad for fall 2021, this coming fall, please remember that applications are due by midnight on November 10th, and you'll need to meet with an Education Abroad advisor before submitting an application. So those are just a couple of reminders that if you're interested in studying abroad, the more you plan, the better, and go ahead and make an appointment. There are several ways to do that. It's also on our website. You can see a link to her calendar and get in here and make an appointment. All right, without further ado, thank you so much, Cassandra. And guess what, Cassandra, you're not frozen anymore.
Hey, how about that? Hello, everybody. Thank you, Kimberly.
So much, Cassandra. Take it away, University of Granada Center for Modern Languages. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Kimberly. So, good morning, everybody. I am Cassandra. I'm glad that you can see my face and hopefully not frozen. I know Kimberly and Whitney were telling me that they're expecting 4 of you this morning. So right now I have it set to full screen so you can see the presentation. I can't see you, but I just wanted to say, if you are all here, good morning to Jeremy, Kaylee, Giselle, and Elena. I hope I said your names correctly. And greetings from Granada. So I'm Cassandra Souza. I will be your on-site advisor and your international contact from here on out for any questions regarding the program, the application, or anything in between. And I would also like to unofficially present you to our program coordinator, Maria Jose Vasquez. She is not here today, but she did want to send a big good morning and greetings from Granada as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first things, just to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. So first, I want to give you an overview of the Center of Modern Languages and the city of Granada itself so that you know what it looks like, how to recognize it, where it's at in the world, and a few other things like that. Then we'll move on to requirements to study abroad with us at the CLM, the different courses that students can take, courses offered, things like that, travel and excursion opportunities, both those that are included in your program and the ones that are available to you independently on your own. Then we'll move on to housing options, extracurricular activities for students in the city of Granada, the student support system that we offer you as a study abroad student in the CLM, the cost of living, so you know about what to expect as far as that goes. And then we'll wrap it up with just a few reminders and how to get in contact with us if you have any further questions. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First off, Modern Languages of the University of Granada. Just a quick little background on this. So I was a student here. I'm originally from the US. I currently live in Granada. I've lived here for 4 years, almost 5. And I started here as a study abroad student at the CLM, and I fell so in love with the city and the lifestyle and everything that I just stayed. So I'm really lucky enough to today be able to share my experience with you and help everyone coordinate their future experiences in Granada. So I wanted to first start off with, where is the Center of Modern Languages, right? So it's in the city of Granada. Where is the city of Granada? It is south of Spain. This is one of my favorite pictures of it. It's about 40 minutes away from the mountains you see in the background there, and another 40 minutes to the north of the coast of the Mediterranean. So it's pretty close, it's pretty far into the south. It is a beautiful city, as you can see here. It offers a lot of the benefits of a modern day city, as well as a huge, extremely rich historic background that you will learn all about as your time here. So I just wanted to tell you a few things and give you a few different glimpses so that you know how to recognize it and kind of get a feel from where you're at now, right? So the great thing about it, it has this modern city feel as far as its cultural offer and different, the diversity of things you can take advantage of in the city. But then it has this tiny little local life outside of it in small towns where you'll meet like a lot of local culture, language, and things like that. It has a lot of different aspects for you guys to take advantage of while abroad. Some of them being more familiar, and some that will be totally different to you, like the feria, different things that will help you get to see the culture, Spain, and all of Spain, and everything that you can experience in a Southern European lifestyle. So now that we know a little bit on something really important, right? Your academic setting while you're studying abroad. So this is one of the two buildings of the Center of Modern Languages. It is obviously linked to the University of Granada, and the University of Granada was voted one of the best universities in the world and the top second best university in Spain in the year 2020. So a really elite academic setting. And you can see here the main patio, which you will pass through with thousands of other students every day, going to classes, meeting up with friends, etc. This is also where you'll do your welcome and orientation session, be there to welcome you that day. And you'll see a lot of different cultural events and different things like that that are at the CLM and like in the main patio and throughout different areas of the building. Here's an example of one of the classes being taught. You can also see one of the labs where you have full access to this lab to study, to print, etc. And you'll also have a few classes set up in here. We have our own building in the building, which you will also have full access to. You can study in there, rent out books or anything like that. Typical library stuff. Of course, the main patio, as I said, it organizes a lot of different cultural events for people, for students and those of the local community to participate in and get to know different things. They organize conferences as well. So just get to learn about different things of the local area and of course. So now that we're kind of oriented as far as where and what's going on around us, right? What do you need to study abroad at the Center of Modern Languages? So I wanted to address things here, I think, in order of, well, the four main important things, right? I wanted to first let you know that there isn't a minimum GPA requirement. So if you're one of the students who maybe had a bad semester and it dropped your GPA down, that's okay. We still consider those students for enrollment. So don't worry about that too much. We would just ask for a few supplementing documents at the time of your application. So, one of them being another recommendation from a teacher, just stating, that they support you in this and they think that you're going to take it seriously and make your best academic effort during your time abroad. Another thing is, okay, so we're a language center in Spain. A lot of people think that they need a minimum level of Spanish language, which is not true. So the CLM is fully equipped to teach students with any language, any level of Spanish language, even if it's 0. Okay, we have classes that are available in English and in Spanish, so don't worry about that either. That being said, as you can see in the next point, there is a language level test that we require you to take upon your arrival. And you'll see this is automatically part of your program. You don't have to sign up for it or anything. And we actually ask that you don't prepare this test, so don't study for it. We want to see what language level you're naturally at, so that we can make sure you're getting your class instruction at the level that you need it, be it in English, intermediate Spanish, or advanced Spanish. And finally, something, that us at the Study Abroad office in Granada, and I know that the Study Abroad office at North Central like to support you guys a lot in, is staying as far ahead as you can in the student visa process. You do need a student visa to study abroad in Granada, and it is a little time consuming, but it's not difficult. It's just paperwork. We are there to help you require the necessary documents, and we're there to help advise you in every step of the way. So just be aware of it, get in touch with us about it, and we'll make sure that there's no last minute surprises as far as that goes. Alrighty. Next. So when and what can you study at the CLM? And I know Whitney mentioned to me the different majors that you guys are in. I see there's a variety of them here, which I'm happy to hear. And I will get to that in a second. I just wanted to cover the basic standardized sessions that we offer. And I think this is pretty much anywhere nowadays, but I just wanted to run over it. You know, we do have semester, summer, and short-term programs available as well as the academic year. So like I've stayed for a whole academic year, and it flew by, I have to say. But even people, you know, even if you were looking for a short-term program, we have a lot of flexibility with those. So whatever your study abroad needs are, just get in touch with us, let us know, and we're happy to find the program that's right for you. Aside from that, you know, what about like different majors? So a lot of people think, okay, language center in Granada, I'm going to study Spanish, obviously, which could be true, right? Obviously, we have a very expansive Spanish program and many other foreign languages available as well, like from Russian to Swedish to Chinese and everything in between. But we also have a lot of different classes in different degree programs. So we have like business, education, history, political science, you know, a lot of different things for different people, not just language majors. So whatever you're looking for, you know, get in touch with me and we can help you see classes that are available to you that will let you do your study abroad and not fall behind in your graduation requirements. So definitely get in touch with me about that. And I just wanted to mention we do have a few different internships that are available that you do get full credit for, and it's a great experience. It's a great professional experience. We have some in teaching, in medicine, in business, in NGOs. So definitely, you know, if you're interested in that, take advantage of that as well. Alrighty, moving on to the next one. So what, you know, travel and exploring while you're abroad. Maybe this is your first time in Europe, maybe it's your fifth, but there's always lots of things that people want to do when they're out of the area that they live in. So first, I want to talk to you about the things that are included in your program. You'll see upon your acceptance, about a month before your arrival date, you'll receive an activities calendar. And in this activities calendar, you will see the following three things included: cultural excursions in Granada, trips to other cities, and different sports activities. So I wanted to just kind of run over, you know, a general idea of what these things could include and give you a few examples of them. So the cultural excursions in Granada will vary depending on the semester that you come abroad and what's going on in the city at that time. But a few things that will definitely be included are: one, the Alhambra Palace. Alhambra is one of the most famous historic monuments in the world, one of the most visited in the entire world. And you will definitely visit this while you're there. It will be a fully guided tour by one of our university professors. You can't miss it. So you'll definitely have that. And you will also definitely see the Granada, which is where the old king and queen of Spain are buried today. They decided that Granada had to be their resting grounds because they also love the city. So you'll definitely see that as well. And you'll have access to something that we call a language exchange, which you'll organize in the main patio. But there's several that are organized throughout different restaurants in the city. And this is just an opportunity for you to meet local people and practice your Spanish. So you would spend a little while speaking Spanish and switch to English. So this is also one of the activities that could be included in your local things around Granada. But then, like I said, we go to other trips around Spain. So here I just put a few pictures of example cities that may or may not be included. And the great thing about these trips is you don't have to really even think about them. They're organized and they're also guided again by one of our university professors. So they help you on the current day participation that these cities have in their country, right? Development in the current day Spain. So lots to learn about there, lots of really fascinating things to see. And then, you know, one of the reasons I really love Granada is it has a really rich outdoor dynamic in its surroundings. So you'll take advantage of a lot of different things like hiking. There's a lot of bicycling. These sports activities are very difficult. They're geared to like a pretty basic level. So if you're not sporty, don't worry about them. You'll still have a good time. And of course, like I said, you know, the access to these is just because we are so close to the Sierra Nevada mountain range. So whatever your sports activities may be, they'll be taking advantage of this in the meantime. You can see one of our groups on an excursion here. What about what you want to do when you have free time, right? like I said, I'm sure you have a bucket list. Maybe this is your first time in Europe, maybe it's not, but you have lots of stuff around you. So I don't know if you guys can see my mouse very well, but I just wanted to draw your attention to this map up here. And then, of course, to these three cities. So this is the Iberian Peninsula where Spain is. And you've got Granada, a city called Malaga, and Madrid. You have an international airport in each one of these cities, and they're all very accessible to you, and they have flights all over the world. So I wanted to just, show a few of the main cities here that are on the map that there's direct flights to. So Barcelona, Rome, Berlin, etc. You can even get into Morocco and Northern Africa without any problems. So lots of things to take advantage on. Don't hesitate to come to the study abroad office and ask Maria Jose and myself, because we know quite a bit about what students like to do as far as this goes. And my students, you're going to live with us in Granada for a long time, and Granada has a lot to offer. So don't forget about what's surrounding you, right? There's a lot of different neighborhoods in Granada that play a huge part in its historical development, and that really make it such a special city today. And wandering through them, you're going to see, from the streets to the museums, a lot of different culture and art, really different shopping experiences. You'll see some familiar stores, but you'll also see like top European fashion, from and like we don't have Walmart or anything like that, but we have things that are similar. So for those of you that love shopping, there's lots to do with that. And for the great outdoors, again, everything from skiing to surfing, to scuba diving, and everything in between. So don't forget about what you have right next door, right surrounding you. Granada is a really special place, and you'll definitely agree once you get there. So you have a pretty good bearing on what's in the city, what's around, but what about where you're going to live? I wanted to put the three options up here: host family, student housing, shared apartments. So by far the option that students choose the most is a Spanish host family. I stayed with Marion, my Spanish mom, 4 years ago. I was with her for a year, and we're still in touch today. We go for coffees, and actually there's in this picture here, you can see right in the background, we've actually gone for coffee there. So why the Spanish host family? Well, for those of you who want to work on your Spanish, it makes that so much easier because you just have constant contact with it, and it also lets you see like the insights into the city, like the secret places, where to go, where not to go, and it really is just a long-lasting experience that you will take home with you long beyond your study abroad experience. I would say about 95% of our students opt for host family, and if that is your decision, at the time of filling out your application, there is a page that you would fill out that kind of matches your profile of the family that would be right for you. So like, I don't eat pork, I'm allergic to cats, I love kids, or anything like that. We do work on making sure you're with a family that's right for you. There are still a few students that prefer something different. So, they might want to do student housing with other university students. We work with a company called Aluni that will help you kind of coordinate that. And they might choose to look for their own apartment, which there's plenty of in the city. There's a lot of students in the city of Granada. And it just implies a few additional responsibilities like looking for a lease, signing the lease, making sure you have Wi-Fi in the house, different things like that. So you do want to be aware of those options. And again, any questions you have about them, let me know and I'll be happy to help you. What about other things you can get involved in around the city with other students and things like that? So before I mention the language exchange, which is the group setting where you get to practice Spanish and Spanish and English, or Spanish and French, or whatever languages you're working on. And we also have a one-on-one program that's very similar. It's called a mentor program, where we would match your profile with a local Granada student, and you guys would meet up maybe once a week or twice a month and just kind of have a more one-on-one language exchange, which is cool because it gives you a good connection in the city and with somebody like one-on-one. But other than that, you have different volunteer options like an English assistant, working with the Red Cross. You can get involved in one of the university sports teams or associations if you're musically interested or gifted. You can try out for the chorus or the orchestra. And there's also a lot of free workshops organized in the city that will teach you everything from like ceramics and photography to flamenco dancing and Spanish guitar, and they have thousands of them. So definitely will not have any time to be bored while you're outside of classes and passing your time in Granada. arrival work and what is the student support system like while you're there? So as I mentioned before, you'll get your activities calendar and really your semester calendar a month before your arrival. And you'll see the day of your arrival, we try to give you a day, if not 2 days, to rest before we actually start incorporating you into the CLM. So that'll give you time to either, meet your family or get into your apartment, get your bearings in the city, get over jet lag if you have it, and then we'll do the welcome and orientation session at the CLM a day or two later. And that will be, we'll welcome you to the main patio. We'll give you a full orientation on all the services and what to expect in the program. And then either later that day or the following day, you will do your language level test, which normally takes a day or two to get the results in. And once the results are in, you will start your classes. So it's pretty smooth transition. And once your classes are started, you're going to see it, academically speaking, it follows a regular university semester, right? So not too many surprises there. What about support? The study abroad office, where I work alongside Maria Jose, we are dedicated exclusively to helping you, right? To helping our internal study abroad students. So whether your question is academically related or, where should I go this weekend or anything in between, if you need to change your classes, if you decided you wanted to stay in an apartment but you can't find one, you want to stay with a family, let us know. And that's what we're there for. We're there to help you. So I think we've pretty much seen it all at this point, and I don't think anything will surprise us. So we're there for you. And as well as, as always, you have access to office hours with your teachers if you need a little bit of academic support or clarification on something. And we have a 24/7 emergency contact line, which that number will be given to you at the orientation program. I will either have that phone or Maria Jose will have it. So it's a familiar face, a familiar voice, and we're there for you anytime of the day, whatever happens. Final thing is you do have full medical insurance by a Spanish company while you're there. So whether you sprain your wrist skiing or you have a cold and whatever you need to go to the doctor for, get in touch with us. We'll help you make an appointment at no additional cost to you. So you have a really good support system. Granada is a safe city. I don't think any of our students have ever had too much unrest as far as, feeling like they've been abandoned while they're there. So anything you need, come to us. Cost of life and to expect. This city it's a university city, and being in the south of Spain, it is extremely affordable. So it allows you to take advantage of a lot of different things without having to spend a lot of money, right? So like I said, moving around, I'm going to kind of do this list that you see on the screen backwards. Starting with getting around the city. So Granada is small, it's definitely walkable, and most students like to walk it because it's beautiful and they get to know it better. If you wanted to move around in public transport or in a taxi, they're also very affordable. So anywhere from, about €1 for public transport to maybe €10 to cross the city in a taxi. So if you don't want to walk, that's really accessible as well. Traveling to other countries around Europe is great. It's really available for you guys as well. Shopping, as I mentioned before, there's first and second hand boutiques. And finally, going out with friends. So I did this one last just in case any of you aren't familiar with the tapa. The tapa is a huge part of the Granada lifestyle. A tapa is a small plate of food that comes with like any drink that you order. And this is a really popular, decision for students to go out with friends. Not even students, everyone in the city goes out with friends. They go out for tapas. So you might go out and have a couple drinks, be it, whether it's a soda or a beer, and they bring you a little tapa with it. So for less than $10, you can have dinner. You go out and have dinner. So you'll see, you get to do a lot of different things here without having to break your pocket, which is great for university students. And coming up now, something I have to touch base on, the virus, COVID-19. So I just wanted to reassure all of you that I've been in Granada since and before the pandemic and have been there through all of it. So everything is really secure there. People are very cautious about it. And luckily we started the pandemic by everyone was had to be enclosed in their houses for almost 3 months. You're only allowed to leave to go to the doctor, to go to the pharmacy, and to go to the grocery store. So I think that really permitted us to have a better situation nowadays. I feel safe there as far as the virus goes, and people are very conscious of it. All the security measures are in place, and people follow them closely. So masks, social distancing, people have limited capacity in bars, restaurants, and anything around the city. There's disinfecting gel everywhere, so in the bus, in the metro, in taxis, in the street, it's everywhere. For those of you who are worried about applying to go to a program abroad and then maybe you get there and it gets canceled and everyone gets sent home, worst case scenario, right? Hopefully none of this has to happen, but if it did, we have all of our courses currently available online. And we did this spring semester, you know, when the virus first hit. Everyone had to go home, unfortunately, but we were able to transfer everything online and students finished all of their academic obligations and still received all their university credits. So don't worry, everything is set up and ready to it's prepared for whatever could happen with the virus, although hopefully we've already seen the worst of it. So I think that's about it. I did want to put my contact information on here. You can see the office email, my personal email, which you can feel free to copy down, take a picture of. The website, if you guys want to check out any more information on anything I mentioned or anything I didn't mention. And of course, you can find us on all the social media networks for day-to-day updates about things that are happening in the CLM. So I'm going to see if there's any questions that Kimberly wants to mention to me. And otherwise, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for listening, for your time, and for your interest. And I hope to hear from you soon. Right, let's see how we can get